everybody. This is Katie Frekhtman, a New York City personal injury attorney. And today we are talking about something that is very, very important and helpful for you. I'm trying to do this video from the perspective of somebody who needs a personal injury lawyer, whether it's for a car accident, a slip and fall, construction accident, any type of injury or accident. And the issue is, how do I find the best personal injury lawyer near me? So it has to be in your locality, right? If you're in New York City, you might be looking in Queens or the Bronx, Brooklyn, Staten Island. If you're in another city in the United States, you may be looking either in your city or somewhere close. And so how do you do that? How do you find the best personal injury lawyer? Well, I think a lot of it really will depend on what you are looking for. So you have to ask yourself, what am I as a client looking for? Am I looking for a small firm? Somebody that's going to be giving me personal attention? Do I want to have that one-on-one relationship with an attorney? That if I have a question, I can just text them and they'll text me back, or I'll email them and then they'll email me back, or I'll get on the phone. Or maybe I want somebody in my neighborhood that I want to be able to walk into their office, sit down and just, chat and talk about the case. Or do I need more resources? A lot of the smaller firms may only have one or two attorneys. And maybe I have a more complicated case where I want an attorney, an associate. I want a partner on my case. I want to have the manpower of paralegals, file clerks, because my case is going to be complicated and I want to have all that manpower so I can stand up to the insurance company. So it really depends on what you want. But when you're looking for, finding an attorney, where do you start? I mean, most people will start on the internet. They'll look at things like this, like a YouTube video. They might look at Google Local, and Google reviews. They may do a search on Google and just see who comes up. And you'll have your paid results, right? The pay per click. And then you'll also have the organic and natural results. And then they'll read some of the content, or they'll speak to people. A lot of people choose their personal injury lawyer based on recommendations from friends and family. Because the thought is, well, if a friend or a family member used this lawyer and they're happy, they already went through the whole process, right? From A to Z. They went through it all and they're happy. They enjoyed, as much as you can. No one enjoys getting injured or having to deal with litigation, but they have good things to say about the lawyer, about the law firm, so that I'm going to go with that recommendation. And that's fine. And a lot of people do that. And we get a lot of people who, refer cases to us based on friends and family. And that's a very important thing to do. Another way to do it is to ask an expert, right? And the way that you would ask an expert is maybe look in a directory, or they have these different groups like the American Association of Justice or the New York State Trial Lawyers Association, or even the Bar Association. And you could ask them and they can give you a list. Or you could ask someone like us. We, for example, could handle your case if it's in the New York City area. But if it's in another jurisdiction, even like out in Texas, California, Florida, anywhere, the Midwest, we could help maybe find someone that's best for you, and we could work with you and find someone based on our knowledge. And we have access to some of the best lawyers in the entire country. And people have been doing that. People have been asking us, and it's been really, really successful. Like we found a lawyer in the Midwest. We find lawyers in the South. We get a lot of calls for Florida, Atlanta, Texas, California. There's so many really, really good lawyers. So we'd be happy to help you do that and help curate like a list for you, or give you a recommendation of somebody that is the best in your locality near you, so you could find that accident lawyer near you. But then the other way that people really should look at when trying to determine who would be the best lawyer for them is really about the type of case you have. Do you need an expert in the particular field of law? So for example, personal injury is very broad, right? And within personal injury, you have a lot of subcategories. Like, for example, you have car accidents. So if you get into a generic car accident, you may not need somebody who's like a specialist. I mean, you want somebody who's handled car accidents before, but there's not really a specialty in being a car accident lawyer. It's just more of a generic thing, right? There's so many car accidents, just like there are a lot of slip and falls or general personal injury. But if you get into, let's say, a truck accident, well, now you may consider an attorney who specializes in that niche, where he or she has written a book about truck accidents, where he knows the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Act and the Code of Federal Regulations, and he's up on all the latest statutes and law changes, because he may be able to help you more than somebody who's just a jack of all trades and has no idea that this stuff even exists, right? About all the Federal Motor Carrier and all the trucking rules. And so in that sense, and also in some other niches, like in construction, you may want somebody who specializes in construction, because it has a lot of case law, there's a lot of statutes, there's a lot of things that are very different with construction, that if a lawyer doesn't know that, there could be a lot of problems. So that's something that you should consider as well. And then the other thing is, it really breaks down into two different categories, right? One is, are they an expert? How many years of experience do they have? Have they gotten the results? Are they an expert in the type of case that I need handled, right? Whether it's construction or a truck accident, are they an expert in that field? But also, are they an expert in the type of injury I sustain? Now, if I sustain a generic injury, let's say I have like a torn meniscus in the knee and I need arthroscopic surgery. There again, you probably don't need like a super specialist, because it's a common injury. Most lawyers understand it. You go to a doctor, they do the arthroscopic surgery, you get better, or as good as you can medically, and those cases usually settle, or if you have to take it to trial, they're usually worth a certain dollar range. But if, for example, on the flip side, you get a serious traumatic brain injury, that's a life-changing injury, well, now you may want a lawyer who's a specialist in traumatic brain injury, because they could help you. They could send you to the best in-class doctors, neurologists, neuropsychologists. They could get you imaging, like the diffuse tensor imaging or the 3T MRI, that a lawyer who's like a jack of all trades might not even know about this, right? The arterial spin labeling and all the different neuroimaging, and they have experience in the courtroom with TBI, so they could do a better job for you. And the same thing goes for spinal cord injuries, like complex fusions or different types of back injuries, where you want somebody who knows the best doctors to go to. And that really leads me to another point, that it really depends on what you need as a client, right? Because everybody, for the most part, who's involved in a personal injury wants the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, meaning at the end of the case, they want to get the maximum result possible. They want to be paid, and they want to be paid a reasonable, fair amount, and as much as possible. But that's the end game, right? That's at the end, and they want to do it as quickly as possible. But what about if you need something now? Like if you need your lost wages paid, or if you need access to healthcare and you're not getting it, you need the doctor now, or some people just can't pay their bills and they may need funding. And then it really depends on what you need and if that lawyer can get it to you. So when you call the lawyer, ask them about that and see what they say and see if you're happy with their answer. So that's very important. And I think the real final important thing that you should look at in finding a personal injury lawyer near you is the communication. What type of communication do you want as a client? Do you want, and what is the frequency of communication? Do you want communication like daily? Do you want it weekly? Do you want emails? Do you want text messages? Do you want to chat? Do you want to meet in person? And then is that lawyer or is that law firm willing and able to give it to you, right? What you want. So what we do sometimes in our intake is we actually ask, how often do you want to be contacted proactively? Like if you don't contact us, some clients contact us, they just have questions and they're always contacting us. Other clients more like lay low and they don't contact us at all. And so we ask them, how often do you want to be contacted? It's like once every month, once every 2 months. And then we try to put that almost like a menu and then, and be responsive like that. So that's really the question about communications. Like, how do you feel about the lawyer? Can this lawyer be your guide, where they have all this knowledge about how to litigate a case, so they should be your guide. And there's another video we did about that, so you could check out that video. But so yeah, do you want this lawyer to be your guide, right? Do you want them to be your trusted advisor? Do you feel comfortable with them? That's the main question. And so that's really like what you should look at, some of the factors you should look at. So of course it's the same old, right? Like their experience, their prior results, but ultimately it's about, do you feel comfortable with them? Are they able to answer your questions? And are they able to get you what you want and what you need, both right now while the case is pending and at the end of the day when the case gets resolved? So I hope this has been helpful. Let us know what questions you have, and we're here for you, whether you were injured in the New York City area or anywhere throughout the country. We would be happy to give you a consultation. You could text us and we'll get on the phone or text you and give you a consultation about the specifics of your case. And then, like I said, we could help you find a lawyer near you if you're not in New York, or if you're in New York and if it's our criteria, we'd be happy to look into helping you personally. Have a great day, and we look forward to more videos, and let us know what questions you have, and maybe we can answer them in a video. Okay, have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.